Hello everyone, this is the self-awareness exercise that we have for the week of December 22nd. And I think it's particularly juicy for this week coming up, especially because of the holidays. Normally, I pull 3 cards, one a contemplation card, one an energy to embody, and then an activity to actually engage those two together. This time, however, 2 cards really wanted to be known for the contemplation card. So this is what we have. The first card that came out was Power. And the second card, which stuck to it and wanted to come out, was Hopelessness. Can you see that? There we go. It looks blurry on my end. There we go. Okay, so power. Think of power as an energy radiating from the center of your being in a 360-degree radius. It is wise, is connected to your higher mind, and connects you to all possibilities. It guides you along the best route, however circuitous, for the highest good of all concerned. Think of force as an energy that is generated by your personality. It extends from your mind in a horizontal line and is projected in one direction by a mind that sees limited options. Insistence on having a specific outcome may blind the mind to better options. It may be logical, but not wise. Force is ego-directed and usually with a predetermined goal. Power is soul-directed and self-correcting. What I want to remind you of in regards to this card is that it's asking you to consider, to contemplate what's on this card. What do you believe? What jumps out at you? What strikes you as truthful? What strikes you as hogwash? Does something trigger you? Do you resist something? Do you kind of shut it down? Because really, I think power is central to most things in our lives that are pivotal in our growth. And the reason I say that is because, and it goes along with the hopelessness card, which I will now read to you. Hopelessness is usually linked to the thought that things will never change, us, others, or circumstances. It's a heavy energy and has no momentum because it presupposes that there's nothing that can change the situation or the state. It's usually accompanied with a sense of powerlessness, right? So there you go, the power card. Often it's based on old disappointments, but is triggered by current events that resonate with something similar from the past. Well, what do we feel? What happens typically when we feel, I'm going to put that up for you. Sorry, guys. When we feel powerless, what tends to happen is we become fearful, and that engages the ego, usually in a way where we try to fix or mentally organize things or react in some way. Now, the hopelessness aspect of things, very often when we find ourselves in that state of feeling disempowered or feeling hopeless, it is something that's being triggered from the past. So it really is valuable, especially during this time of year, because there are so many holidays associated, not just Christian holidays, but holidays, cultural events that are associated with this time of year that involve family, that involve relationships, close relationships, the expectations, the disappointments, and a lot of old stuff can very, very easily be triggered during this period of time. So consider the concept of power, hopelessness, feeling empowered, feeling disempowered, and feeling when your ego gets pulled in and when you can move into a deeper sense of power from the higher mind, power from the higher self. That's the thing I would say is kind of big for this week, generally. Of course, it's up to you to read these and decide what's in there for you specifically, okay? The card we're being asked, the energy we're being asked to embrace is humor, which I actually think is like perfect for this time of year because a lot of people act like fools. Humor in its highest form is kindly, not sarcastic. It has a generous quality, able to see absurdities, incongruities, and paradoxes with a light heart, which is so valuable when you're looking back over times and you have the crazy uncle who makes a fool of himself, or you find yourself doing it. It finds ready to find mirth and fun in them. Um, I should start that again, eh? Humor in its highest form is kindly, not sarcastic. It has a generous quality, able to see absurdities, incongruities, and paradoxes with a light heart. And ready to find mirth and fun in them. Because it's gentle, it helps us to see the truth behind things that might otherwise create defensiveness. Ooh, that's good too with the power and the hopeless. Look for the humor in all situations. Take a light attitude towards everything you see today, especially if it's contentious. So this is a really nice way to stay in a sense of power by not getting pulled into the old story, the old defensiveness and helplessness and all of that. But the other thing I think that's really fascinating here, especially because it goes along with the power card, is play with your intuition. Did I do that? I can't remember. Deliberately follow your hunches and see what happens when you do. Notice finding coincidences of being in the right place at the right time, finding the right book or ad that gives you info that's just right. Each time something like this happens, acknowledge it as a hit, as being accurate, which means your intuition is working. One way to activate intuition is to ask questions beginning with, I wonder where my keys are. Who'll call me first today, etc. Allow yourself to notice flashes, physical impulses to do something or go somewhere, and any other way your creative and wise self will show you things. Again, power, wisdom, higher self. Misses are just as important as the hits. Notice what both feel like. So this feels to me like what we're being guided to do here is to remember that the situation is not hopeless, but if we find ourselves in that sense of lethargy, feeling stuck, that quality that we might not define as hopeless, but just where we feel like there's a lack of momentum and maybe even going to go have that Christmas dinner again and it's going to be the same way it always is. That's the old energy. That's the ego self. Now you're being asked to use humor, focus on your higher self, and engage with your intuitive self and your wise mind. You deliberately look and work with intuition this week. Because by deliberately engaging in intuition, acting as though and expecting answers, you are tuning more into your higher self, and you are engaging in a very dynamic energy when you do that. So it helps you leave behind the hopelessness and all that other stuff. And humor, what a beautiful, beautiful energy to engage during this week when there's all sorts of chaos. And let's remember that whatever we might be going through, everybody's going through a lot of stuff right now. And that what I'm hearing right now actually is do your very best to not take people's outrage, upset, chaotic behavior. Do your best not to take it personally and not take it on. Really let yourself just kind of step back into higher self, higher conscious, I know you're there, and allow yourself to just see the absurdity of things that are going on when people are acting a little kooky. Okay? Again, these are for you to decide how you want to deal with it in your own way, how you want to apply it, and to see what comes up when you consider the cards of power and hopelessness. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope this is helpful for you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon, I expect. Take care.